I should introduce myself. My name is Robert McCaffrey. I'm the conference convener for what it's worth. I have a PhD in geochemistry, geophysics, mineralogy, and I've been looking at the cement industry for nearly the last 20 years, first at International Cement Review and really for the last 15 years at Global Cement. So I'd like to give you a few introductory remarks to the CemTrader conference itself. This is the inaugural CemTrader meeting. When we organised this meeting quite recently, 2 or 3 months ago, we started to organise it. We had no idea how many people we would get turning up and whether or not it would be of international interest. But I'm very pleased to say that we have 63 delegates registered from 21 different countries around the world. We have a very good turnout, I think, from the multinational cement companies, and we have a very good mix of people from all sorts of different places within the industry, from producers of supplementary cementitious materials to traders, to users, researchers, and so I'm very, very sure that you will be able to find a range of people that will be of interest to you at the conference. The CemTrader conference this year is about, as I've mentioned, supplementary cementitious materials and also coal and petcoke. And I think it's worthwhile asking ourselves why. And really this meeting addresses some of the most important issues that confront the cement industry today around the world. Primarily that energy costs are continually increasing, and that environmental costs as well are also increasing, not only from the social requirement to be a good neighbour, but also from actually the fact that we have to continually decrease our emissions, and there's also a very strong emphasis on us as an industry reducing our specific carbon dioxide emissions and also our total carbon dioxide emissions as an industry. And this is where, of course, our supplementary cementitious materials, or SCMs, come in. They have a number of effects when you use them in the cement industry. Obviously, they can act as fluxes in the cement process. They can decrease energy requirements. They can lower emissions, carbon dioxide emissions from the process. They can improve clinker and cement quality if they're added in the right proportions and in the right places in the process. Adding them into the cement mill, you can reduce the clinker factor in your final cement, and of course using these recycled or non-virgin materials, you can improve your green credentials. The second part of the conference is on coal and petcoke, and I think this promises to be a very interesting section of the conference as well. I'm very glad to say that we have some high-profile speakers specifically addressing those parts of the conference. Of course, fuel is the number one issue confronting the cement industry around the world today, particularly with regards to the increase in fuel cost. And any annual report that you will read today, anywhere in the cement industry, will point out the fact that profits are dipping largely on account of the fact that fuel costs are increasing. So there's a continuing emphasis on alternative fuels, and hopefully, if the winds are blowing in the right direction tomorrow, our final presentation will be on the development of alternative fuels in the cement industry from a world expert. There's a slight possibility he might not be able to make it. However, we know the alternative fuels industry quite well. We've organised the Global CemFuels conference several times around the world. There is obviously an increasing emphasis on the use of alternative fuels. However, in the cement industry, still more than 90% of the energy used in the cement process comes from conventional fuels. And this is an issue we've never actually addressed in any of our meetings. And it's critical that we do look at this, because energy minerals are traded internationally, and the cement industry is one of the largest users around the world. It's arguable whether or not petcoke is an alternative fuel. It used to be considered as an alternative fuel. Now it's more of a conventional fuel. but we'll lump it into the conventional fuels for this meeting. And it's arguable that coal and petcoke are less polluting than alternative fuels, or some alternative fuels. And certainly any cement plant in the world, if given the option of using alternative fuels and using conventional fuels at the same cost, will use conventional fuels because the quality is much higher, the homogeneity is higher, and the impact on the cement process is lower. In the presentations that we have tomorrow, we'll be looking at long-term trends in supply and demand for conventional fuels.